It's been almost 6 years since civil war broke out in South Sudan, and is so often the case, the country's youngest civilians have suffered the most. Fighting has caused hundreds of thousands of children to flee the country, many without their parents. And aid missions trying to support child refugees are struggling under the weight of demand. SBS reporter Omar Dabbagh travelled to the Gambela region in southern Ethiopia, where scores of children are living in overcrowded and under-resourced camps.
These are just some of the faces of the unaccompanied and separated children of South Sudan, orphans of civil war. At the camps that shelter them, tragedy has drawn the children closer together. 14-year-old friends Nyadwel and Nyamuch have been at the Jawi camp in Gambela nearly 5 years now. Both were separated from their parents as the conflict across the border in their home country escalated. And both believe they know the fate of their families. Nyamuch claims her carers, who are also refugees, often exacerbate the trauma. Here in southern Ethiopia, there are scores of similar stories that have gone unheard. This is Gambela, an already impoverished region, where 400,000 refugees are split across 7 camps. 2/3 are South Sudanese children, and more than 1 in 10 are unaccompanied or separated minors. SBS has been invited by aid agency the UNHCR to visit 2 of the camps and learn more about the children. What are the biggest issues that they're facing in these camps?
So one of the biggest issues, I would say, is because these kids do cross the border by themselves, so they do find themselves alone here. And one of the things we need as a UNHCR, I would say, would be staffing to help for social workers and to help these kids cope with what they've seen back in South Sudan.
Some children are coping better than others. 11-year-old Tult has made plenty of friends at the Kule camp. A support system, he says, that stretches to his foster family. The 14-year-old Mal was also taken in by a foster mother and says he is safe and happy. These camps are under-resourced in every capacity. There aren't enough teachers, there aren't enough doctors, only half the refugees have adequate housing, water is in diminishing supply, the food rations are below the minimum daily intake, and the biggest complaint that we're hearing from people here is that there aren't enough clothes. Yet, despite this mountain of problems, more and more refugees are streaming in from South Sudan, making an already stretched aid mission all the more difficult by the day. And those with the biggest dreams are often suffering the most. Unbelievable courage in the face of unfathomable adversity. In Gambela, Ethiopia, Omar Dabbagh, SBS World News.